Hey guys, thank you for coming today. My name's Amy. We've got another Amy, easy to remember, and Logan, and we just want to talk to you today a little bit about some health and safety things and things that are going to work specifically for you guys working in a restaurant, about comfort, some body mechanics, and then some hand washing basics, which I know you guys know is very important. So first of all, we're going to have Logan. He's going to come talk to you about some things that are going to help you have some comfort after your shift, and maybe help you get through that shift a little easier and then going on to the next shift. So, Logan.
So like she said, my name's Logan. I work next door at Ricky Tony's for like 7 years. So a lot of this is from experience, stuff I figured out to kind of help me at the end of the shift, when I got done from a long shift or a double. But so I'm gonna talk to you about foot care. Sorry, I skipped that. A little information about the feet first. There's a lot going on in your feet. You have about 26, you have 26 bones, 33 joints, and more than 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments all in your foot. So, and that's not even counting the blood vessels, skin, circulatory system, nerves, all that.
Wow.
So, during your shift, you probably take thousands of steps a day, especially if you're working double. Well, if you're kitchen, you're standing on a hard floor all day. I think the last double I worked at Ricky Tony's this summer, my Fitbit clocked in about 15 miles. I was there pretty much open to close. So your feet take a pounding. So it's important that you take care of them. If you don't, you'll regret it when you get older. There's always plantar fasciitis, maybe some neuropathy of the feet, nerve damage, stuff like that. So one of my favorite ways to take care of your feet is, it's called, well, smashing is one way to put it, but one of the best ways to resolve foot pain and restore suppleness, if you will, to the plantar surfaces, which is just the bottoms of your feet, is to roll your foot over a lacrosse ball. These are about $3 on Amazon. Dick's might have them, I'm not sure. Yeah, $3. This is awesome. The idea is to put in qualitative smashing by rolling pressure, or by slowly pressure waving up and down the length of your foot. So quality over quantity. You don't want to go real fast. You want to be really slow and deliberate with the smashing. You can also think about strumming the musculature of your feet by moving it from side to side. And if you find a hot spot, and you'll know when you find a hot spot, like you'll be, oh crap, there it is. Stay on it, contract and relax, and pressure wave into the ropey tissue of your feet. You can do this either sitting, standing. I like standing because you can get more pressure on the foot. But first time you might actually want to try a tennis ball first time. It's a little softer until you get used to it. Then you can move to this, and then maybe sitting because it's not as much pressure, and then get to standing. But I'm going to show you really quick on my foot. Sorry, I got to take my shoe off. My feet aren't too gross.
I smell something.
Yeah, they're not too bad. So when you're doing it, you'll be standing, of course, but you want to start on the ball of your foot. You want to slowly go down to the heel. And this is gonna feel good for one thing. It's gonna relieve stress. It's gonna prevent plantar fasciitis. It's gonna
prevent what?
Plantar fasciitis. It's basically just inflammation of all this soft tissue. I actually have a big band of soft tissue right here, connective tissue in your foot. So it'll help with that. It'll help with the arches of your feet, supporting your feet. And then, like I said, you can go side to side like that. You want to try and just stay the heel and the ball of the foot, but always grab something for balance. So just go around like that, and like I said, if you find a hot spot, kind of contract, relax on it. It's really slow. Anybody want to try?
I'll give it a whirl.
Try it if you don't mind using.
I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah,
Don't mind at all.
And what Logan is showing you right now is when he's standing, we have a triangle. We balance on 3 points of your foot, which is the heel, and then under the ball of your foot, and then on like your little
So start
toe
on the
on
heel?
on the
Big
ball of
toe.
your
Start,
foot.
well, either way, you can start at the ball and work down to the heel, or the other way.
And like circular motions or like back and forth?
Yeah, you can actually, if you just, either way, if you just want to roll it really slow, you can do it that way. If you want to do it kind of like I was talking about the pressure wave, it's kind of a circular motion. You just want to be really deliberate with, like I said, quality over quantity. You don't want to just start rolling like that. You know?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels good, stretching it out for sure.
And a
Yeah.
way you can kind of simulate this, you could take a frozen water bottle and do the same thing. Kind of feels nice too.
I wish I'd known about this whenever I was a server. Well, the majority of my serving career,
Yeah.
I didn't have this.
Yeah,
You
it
guys
feels
have
very
this-
nice.
Yeah.
It's stretching for sure.
Yeah.
Now, and of course in the kitchen you're going to be standing a lot, and then there's a lot of movement. And then the servers, you got stairs to contend to in this restaurant, so I think this would feel quite nice at the end of your shift.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Uh-huh.
Give me the other one.
Yeah.
So one more. Actually, I'm gonna show you two more things to kind of take care of your feet, your ankles, and your knees. One more way you can roll your feet. This is a trigger point foam roller. I can't remember how much it was, but it's totally worth the money too. You can do, and same with the lacrosse ball. You can do more with it than just your feet. This just for time's sake. This is all we're gonna go over today. But you can get on the foam roller. Make sure you've got something to grab for balance. And actually, I'll go on this side so y'all can see. But you want to get that inside arch on the edge of the foam roller right there, and you want to like pretend like you're trying to like rip off the foam roller's surface. And it really helps with that inside arch of your foot, help maintain that and restore that. So not only does it feel good after a long shift of working, but it's good for you. You're on your feet a lot, so you need to take care of them. All right, last stretch I'm going to show you is just your classic calf stretch. You just come up to a wall. And you can start. I like to start by just putting the ball of my foot up on the heel and then sliding down to the floor. And you want to keep your knee locked out. And you can pull yourself in to the wall. You're going to feel that stretch all the way up to your knee, down the back of your ankle. So you can hold and release, hold and release. I usually do about 20 seconds of holding and release for a little while, then another 20 seconds, something like that. And that feels really good also after a long day of standing around or waiting tables. But that's all I've got for you.
All right, hey guys, my name's Amy. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about back safety in the workplace, particularly in the food service industry. So how many of y'all are servers? Okay, and then kitchen? Okay, cool. So I used to be a server a couple of years back, and I know when I got off shift, I felt like I got beat up sometimes. I was exhausted. It's a very physically demanding job, no matter where you are. And my back definitely took a beating. I would always have low back pain, and low back pain is probably the #1 issue that I hear, just personal testimonies, but worldwide, it's a huge problem. So your back has these little curves in it. We have our cervical curve, our thoracic curve, a lumbar curve, and then a sacral curve. And there's a point to these curves. You can see over here, this guy does not have any curves. That's bad. We don't want our spine to look like this. Typically it'd be almost like an S shape. And that curvature makes your back 10 times stronger than if it was just completely straight. And we have the spinal cord running down through it. Very, very important part of your body to keep healthy. And a lot of times when we're at work, we just assume that it'll be all fine, and we just kind of move really quickly. And a lot of this stuff is just being aware, just being conscious of body mechanics, how you're moving throughout your day, especially if you're doing a double, that can wreck you. So if you are just standing, if you're standing a lot, especially for my kitchen people, I know you're probably hunched over a lot. standing for very, very long periods of time. Very important that we try to keep the chest open as much as we can. Weight shifting as much as we can as well, so not just locking the legs out. We want to keep the legs moving. This part of your body is so much stronger than this part of your body. Okay, so we want to use this as much as we can. If you have anything that you can prop up on, you can even use a stool, but just like propping the foot up. I'm trying to find a chair here. I'll bring this over here. You could use a stool, or if you have a little resting spot in the kitchen, just kind of take the weight off of that leg for a little bit. Kind of weight shifting, moving the pelvis. Everything's kind of connected here, so really want to make sure that we're using good posture. Everything in moderation. So even if we're standing up really straight all the time, that can be bad for you. So trying to make sure we're stretching, we're moving, maybe reaching down to the toes every now and then, trying to stretch out that back because these muscles can get really tight. I'll bring my little skeleton guy down here. So we have this big, huge muscle in our body called the iliopsoas. And if you've ever heard of hip flexors before, your hip flexors just get really tight. Okay, so your iliopsoas is a two-part muscle. It starts at your thoracic vertebrae down here, and it goes all the way down, in and around, and wraps all the way through to the lower leg. So this is what keeps you standing up, okay? When we stand like this a lot of times, over time that's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. Well, that muscle still wraps around back here, so that's getting stretched and stretched and stretched. So we want to make sure that we're standing upright, we're opening that up. We can even do some stretching there as well, and that's going to kind of prevent any of that low back pain. Okay, so good posture, very, very important. Any questions there? We good? All right, cool. Second, I want to talk to you about lifting. I know lifting is a pretty big part of our jobs, no matter where you are. It could be as simple as picking up a fork that was thrown on the ground by a little kid, or it could be taking out the garbage. I know I had to do that a lot. Or getting a bus tub, heavy plates, anything like that. So again, just being aware of body mechanics as you're moving throughout your work day. So for example, say there's a fork on the ground. Well, typically what I do is I just pick it up and move on, right? Well, that's fine the first day, thank you. Pick it up and move on. So that's fine the first time you do it, but if you do that every single day, multiple times a day, for maybe years, that's going to take a toll on you, okay? So just being aware, so if maybe there's something on the ground that you need to pick up, make sure our core is very tight. This is very important. And we get our legs moving into this. So instead of just moving down like that and using just the back, we're going to soften up our knees. We're going to use our quads. We're going to keep our chest up, and we're going to lift, okay? Over time, that's going to be a huge difference in your back health. Same thing with anything heavier. Logan, if you want to come over here and help me. Sure. So if we're picking up a chair or setting up a different table situation. So he's going to come up to the chair, he's going to separate his feet a little, get a wide base of support, lower with the knees, keep the chest up, and he's going to keep his gaze forward as he picks it up and lifts. Okay? Same thing, putting it back down. Very nice, thank you. Does that make sense?
Great
Good?
technique.
Do I want to have a volunteer come try?
I'll volunteer.
Thank you. Very active today, I like it. Okay,
Alright.
so,
Then we got some move into it. Squat down.
Yeah.
Keep chest up.
There you go, good. Make sure that core is really tight as you go. Does that feel pretty good?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Good.
No strains here.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Alright, so that seems like common sense, but a lot of times, like, I know I don't keep my core tight. Sometimes I don't even think they're there, but we all have abs, we all need to use them, okay? So just making sure that core's tight, use those legs, and just be aware of yourself in space. Anybody have any questions?
Or good stretches for lower back.
Yeah, so a lot of different muscles that tie in. Everything's kind of one long chain. So like I said, if you have, just some time, we can just reach down to the toes when you're in your workplace. If you can't reach your toes, which I'm a yoga instructor, so everyone's like, I can't touch my toes. That's fine. You can bend your knees a little bit. That's still going to stretch out the belly of that muscle here, which if your hamstrings are tight, your back's going to be tight. If this is tight, everything's going to be tight. So you can even hold on to a chair, grab the foot, stretch out that psoas I was talking about. Open that up. And you can even use the foam roller that Logan had. This feels really nice. I have the same foam roller. And you can just get down after your work shift, or if you have a break and you want to use one of these, get down, just lay back on it like you're reclining. I like to put my hands behind my head. You can cross the arms. Girls, if you have long hair, make sure your hair is tied up because.
Or boys.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sorry. Excuse me.
The audacity.
Make sure that hair is pulled up because I've definitely had my hair ripped out. But you can just lift up the hips, use your heels, just kind of roll up and down. And that feels really nice on the thoracic curve up there. Yeah. And you want to try.
Crossball can be really well.
Yeah.
Really good for the lower back too.
And if anyone wants to try this, absolutely feel free. Because that feels pretty good, especially if you're about to go downstairs or just getting off. Anyone? No?
I'll give it a whirl.
All right. Eager, I like it. So watch the hair.
Watch that hair, yeah.
So you can lean it back a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, and just kind of roll these back. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
And then you can just take your hands wherever you feel comfortable and just kind of roll up and down. And you don't want to go too far down. Yeah, just kind of stay up on the upper back. Yeah,
Wouldn't
there you
go past the ribs.
Like right there?
Yeah, go all the way up here if you can. Does that feel good?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, and just again, like Logan said, slow and mindful movements are very important. A lot of times people roll too fast, so just nice and slow. And just enjoy the experience.
Yes. Thoroughly enjoyed.
Does anyone else want to try? Anyone back's bothering them? It feels pretty good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If you change your mind, we'll have this out after our presentation. But yeah, no further questions. I'm gonna let Amy close this out. Thank you all.
Okay guys, I'm back again. Okay, so as you've seen, like some of these things can help you physically and then with your body mechanics. Now I know I've heard before, and then for kitchen and when you're in management, a lot of the time sometimes we'll be very stationary, and I know myself, I'll feel the pain, and you know, we're young now, but we're not always going to be. So we want to start being proactive in maybe helping ourselves now that can give us some longevity in the future. Now the thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is hand washing. You know, I know it seems very basic and everyone knows, especially in a restaurant, you know, and in everyday life, that you've got to wash your hands. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of reasons why and an effective way how to wash your hands, just so you know. And there's another reason this is very apt for this place is that there's some new rules come into play for the health inspection, and it really goes into some specifics. So that just goes to show you how important that is when statewide and nationally there are people monitoring the reasons and how we should be washing our hands. So there's a couple of handouts out there. You're more than welcome to look at those and take those. But some reasons why you should wash your hands. Hand washing is an easy and inexpensive and very effective way to prevent the spread of germs and to keep our employees healthy. Not just our employees, but family members. You guys come into contact with the public. You know, so you're with all these different people all the time. Germs pass around. We want to keep ourselves healthy. So this gives you an opportunity to be active in your own health by washing your hands. And a lot of the times that people focus on hand washing in healthcare and in childcare, but it's important in this aspect too. Improving your health, it can stop you having sick days. Less sick days means more money for you guys. And I know a lot of people don't always have insurance, so you don't have to be going to the doctors. So if you can do this simple way to keep yourself healthy, maybe have less sick days, maybe don't have to have as much time off, which makes the whole workforce more effective. I've got some numbers here. It says washing your hands and being healthier can reduce the number of people who get sick with diarrhea by 31%. Nobody wants that, so let's wash your hands. Especially people with weakened immune systems. You guys are coming into contact with babies, with elderly people. We don't want them to get sick either. And it can reduce respiratory illnesses like colds in the general population by 21%. So that's a pretty big deal for just going and washing your hands. I talked about saving money and saving time by not being off work, just by washing your hands. It's this simple little thing. The way to wash your hands, we talk about when you go to wash your hands, make sure nothing on your wrist. This is going to be one of the health inspection things. Your arms have got to be free and clear in your hands. So ladies with the jewelry, make sure you take it off because germs can get stuck around the rings and stuff. So same with the watches. So when you wash your hands, turn the sink on. You want warm water. You're going to get your hands wet, and you're going to get some soap. And then we're going to lather and make sure you're getting all the surfaces and up your arms some too. Now you see on the TV where the doctors, you know, they scrub in and they come up to their arms. Well, there's a reason for that. So that's what you're going to be. You've got to be coming up here because it's not just this bit. This bit's exposed to contact too. So make sure you wash all the way up with the soap. Now you should be doing that for about 20 seconds, which seems like a long time. But if we just rinse off, we're not getting rid of the germs and the bacteria that we need to, all those tiny little microbes. We got to get those off. So use the hot water, and what the hot water does is it helps break down the soap. It's not going to get rid. The hot water is not going to get rid of the bacteria because it would have to be really hot for that, and that would scald your soap. But that's just to help break down the soap. So once you've done that for about 20 seconds, and if you're not sure how long that is, you all know the song "Happy Birthday." Hum it to yourself, sing it out loud, do it twice. Okay. Once you've done that, make sure you rinse really well, get all the soap off on all the surface under the nails too, and then you're going to air dry, not with a dryer because that has been shown to just blow more germs all over. Air dry or paper towel is best. And now that sink's still running. Should I turn it off with my hands?
No.
Because what did I do when I first started? I turned it on when my hands were dirty. So now there's probably germs on there. So keep that paper towel and turn it off. And with the paper towel or with an elbow something, try not to use your hands, you've just defeated the purpose. And if you're in a restroom or somewhere and you've got to get out, if it's not got a kick plate or a push plate that you cannot use your hands, keep hold of that paper towel and use it to open the door and then discard it. So turn the water on, get your hands nice and wet, lather up for about 20 seconds, rinse off real good, air dry or paper towel, and then turn the water off with the paper towel. Okay. Did y'all get that?
Mm-hmm.
So especially in the workplace, you're probably going to want to wash your hands before you prep any food, after, sometimes even between. When you can see you've got stuff on your hands, you know you've got to wash it. For everyone else, you got to think about the times when you need to wash your hands. So ladies, try not to play, and gents, try not to play with your hair. That's the time you'd want to wash your hands. If you cough or you sneeze, go wash your hands. If you're dealing with, like we said, the public, and you've helped somebody who, you've touched somebody, let's go wash our hands. The same with if you're dealing with animals, or their feed, or their feces. Sounds like it's simple. Go wash your hands. You've got that few minutes when you're in the restaurant. I know you're busy and you think you're touching these dirty plates, you're touching things. Go wash your hands. You're going to safeguard your job. You're going to help your customers not get sick. You're going to keep yourself healthy. And then if you're going on home, you don't want to take those germs back home to whoever you live with. Okay, so just a few simple things that can help you stay healthy. Now this was the health inspection new rules that have just come into play in October. And as it says here, it says rub vigorously for at least, it says 10 to 15 seconds. You go 20, you're going to hit that. Okay, paying particular attention to removing soil from underneath the fingers, during that time. So I'm not making this up. I'm not here just for fun. It's important to other people, not just you. Do you guys have any questions about hand washing? You guys think you might be more mindful of it now you've been reminded? I think throughout your shift you'll be like, I'm gonna go wash my hands.
I really didn't think about it whenever you said like you wash your hands and then like you touch the sink afterwards.
We don't, and it's the same with, and I think even on bathrooms too, they used to all have hand. I think a lot more bathrooms are now where you can push. It's just not something you always think about. It's a sink, it should be clean, but that's the part that we touch. So that's great, yeah, absolutely. But I just want to thank you all for coming today and just reiterate that, like we've kind of all spoken, your body is all connected in some ways, whether it's your physical health, your mental health too, and then whether it be hand washing or like Amy was saying about all the different muscles that connect. Just think about yourselves, take care of yourselves. That's going to help you. If you've got babies at home or people at home, think about them too. When you're picking them up, use your body mechanics. You want to be there for them. You want to be there for babies aren't on the clock right now. Later down the line, then maybe. You want to be there healthy and strong for your friends and your family. Same with washing your hand. You want to be healthy. I've got 2 little ones at home. I try and remember them when I do things, and that's hard sometimes because you just get going in that busy everyday thing. But after today, I hope that maybe when you putting that delivery away now, which we're going to have you do because you're still great for body mechanics, you know, lift, you'll be able to go longer. You may not be staying in the restaurant industry. If you go on to teach, I know a lot of people that we have are in school and that they may go on to teach. Think about those children. Teach them how to wash their hands. That's going to keep you healthy. I know a lot of kids seem to get sick in school. Teach them about washing their hands. That's going to help you, the teacher, and the children. I know we've got people that own their own business. I know we've got Cody who does yard work and stuff. I know when you're pushing that mower, maybe think about your core as you're pushing. That's going to give you longer. You're going to be able to, again, it always seems to come back to money and health, but keep yourself healthy. You'll be around longer for everybody else. So I just want to thank you for coming. Take the handouts. If you want to practice with any of the things we've shown, you're more than welcome to. And just thank you very much.
Thank you.